Hello and welcome to Movie Masterminds. My name is Xavier. This is
Zion.
and this is
Patrick.
and we have a guest today.
Gino the Great, but you can call me Gino for short.
Today we'll be reviewing two movies. The two first Transformers, one from 1987 and the Transformers one from 2007, and we're basically seeing which one is better, if that's possible for two horrible movies.
Two horrible movies. What a way to start out.
yeah.
Shots fired.
Horrible is a
Quick.
strong starting point.
Yes.
Zion, or Xavier, you got to build up.
Yes.
These are just crappy movies. Okay.
We're going to tell you which one is better. Spoiler alert.
Yes, there's major spoilers in this, so if you want to see these without us spoiling it, go and check them out.
No, it says
If they haven't
spoilers
seen
don't
if they haven't seen
matter.
the 1987 or 2007 Transformers, then that's their fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a total of 40 years here that they need to figure out. So
So we're gonna start out with a horrible movie plot synopsis. Zion, do you want to start?
All right, so horrible movie plot synopsis. I'm going to do the 1987 one first. So essentially, we're starting out on focusing in on this giant metal planet, and then we find out
Oh,
we're
no,
in the
pause.
middle.
Actually, wait. You got a minute. That's the challenge. You have a minute to do all your stuff. So go.
All right, we start on a metal planet. These robots are in the middle of a war. We cut to Earth, where there's this giant transforming city. Multiple of the main Transformers die. Then Megatron gets rebirthed by this giant metal planet. This metal planet attacks everything and anything in existence. Then the giant planet transforms into a giant robot. Who would have thought? Then this giant planet was turned into a robot. This robot gets its head cut off. And then Magical Cube saves all. The end.
Wow, I want to see that movie.
I don't really want to see the movie.
Okay.
couldn't have said it better myself.
I guess, yeah. Okay, so who wants to hit the next? Who wants to do their synopsis for the 1987? You want to go? Oh, I can go.
Yeah.
You go.
Okay, so the year is 2005, and we need to sell some toys. These toys are Transformers that change between robots and weird other things. We're going to kill a bunch of them off so we can sell more toys. We're going to introduce characters that are kind of meaningless and don't do much. There's going to be a lot of cliches going on. There's going to be some fun quotes. There's going to be a lot of great music, interestingly enough. Amazing music in here. I think some Journey might be involved. And Zion hit it right on the head. There's a giant planet that's attacking things. And merchandising. It's designed for 7-year-olds. That's all I can say. It's awesome. So,
It's a giant toy commercial.
yeah. And in the end, some character does something magical to unlock with the
Magical Cube.
magical cube, and we win. And that's the end. Okay.
We win. I
We
see.
win. Humans, yes.
Did they
Except
though?
there's only one human in the fight.
Two.
Two.
Two humans.
Two. We need to dig into that a little bit more because that's a little confusing.
All right, Zero, you
Are
want
we
to
sure
go
that
next?
humans aren't enslaved by robots or something? Because there's only two. Yeah. Okay. Who's got the next synopsis?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
So we start with a cannibal planet that's eating another planet, and then we cut to Prime's dying because we need more merch. And then Megatron meets the cannibal planet, and then the cannibal planet transforms into a giant robot. Who would have thought? And then there's a final battle and a lot of explosions. And that's basically it.
That is basically it. That's
Yeah.
very succinct, I will say.
That's like hitting the 6 main points of the movie.
Yeah. I like the cannibal planet. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah, I thought that was coming in hot, Xavier. Just Cannibal Planet right off the bat.
Yeah, Xavier's going in hot.
Xavier's
right away.
swinging for the fences every time he opens his mouth here.
Okay, so Gino, tell us what is
All
your...
right, some hot take. So I think the way I see this movie is it's like almost like the ride It's a Small World After All, only there's robots and people killing each other and a living threat of a cannibal planet. Because basically all you're doing is taking a tour to different planets with different robots all over it, mostly to, like you said, Pat, sell some new toys. And I mean, I think the key part of this is that we have to keep in mind that they do stick with, I guess they create what ends up becoming a common thread of all the Terminator or Transformer movies where Optimus dies. So that's an important piece of the puzzle. But ultimately, I just didn't really feel the motivation of the Cannibal Planet. Didn't know what he's doing.
No, I don't understand how he's supposed to keep surviving by. It seemed like there was a lot of robot planets too. I was surprised how many there were, but
hey, people don't question.
I like that
Galactus.
it's a small world after all. That theme, that's good. That's interesting. I never thought of it that way. I think Walt would be.
I mean, we just took a random stops to a bunch of different planets that were robot planets. That who knew that these even existed.
Okay.
One of them even had a nice jury system that had execution by robot sharks.
Yes, that was. I actually thought that was a highlight of the movie for me, to be honest. That was an interesting part.
I thought so.
Where he says, like, what does he say?
Innocent.
Innocent, and then kills him. Like, they also don't understand what vocabulary is, I guess, on that planet.
Well, it's Opposite Day Planet. That's what they are.
That's what it was called, I think. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Gino, we'll swing back the other direction. 2007, give us your horrible movie plot synopsis for the Transformers, Michael Bay's Transformers.
Michael Bay's Transformers. So if you like the movie Armageddon, you're going to love Transformers. Basically, picture everything that happened in Armageddon with just, 2 hours of explosions. Add robots and a coming-of-age story with a young boy and a girl, starting to know each other, getting in his first car, high school hijinks, that all of a sudden they found themselves wrapped up in the middle of an ancient robot war that I thought was interesting that they started off by saying Earth was an unknown planet, yet we know from the 1987 story that they had an Earth base. So that was a kind of a miss, I thought, but a lot of laughs, great fun for the whole family. They had an urban robot that got ripped in half. So these days, I don't know if that would go over so well, but all in all, pretty fun.
Okay, that's. I do think they didn't mention Armageddon in that movie too. I forgot about that point. The boys didn't get that joke, but I was like, oh wow, they're a little bit of meta.
Little bit of Michael Bay patting himself on the back.
Right. Here's the movie that should have won the Oscar in 1998.
Right.
Okay, Xavier, you hit it next. Tell us your synopsis of 2007.
Okay, so it starts off with a kid trying to be a salesman and failing, and then he meets a girl and he invites her into his new car that's starting to act up, and then there's a bunch of explosions and fight scenes, meteors, more robots, even more robots, and then there's a final battle.
Okay, that's fair. I think the more robots, I think you could just substitute that with boom, bang. More boom, more bang, more, yeah.
And then a meteor comes in and craw.
Yes. Okay, so I guess it's my turn. Movie plot synopsis for this movie is, again, merchandising does factor in, but this time we're not just merchandising toys, we're going to merchandise sex to teenagers, because there's a healthy amount of that, and merchandising apparently that parents are idiots, teachers are idiots, cops are idiots, like everybody's an idiot. This was, I feel like Michael Bay might have been a teenager when he wrote this or made it, because it feels like when I was 13 and thinking about the world. Then we have hijinks where robots are impatiently destroying things for no reason because they can't wait for 5 minutes, even though they waited for years. A lot of illogical things, like you said, they had a moon base or planet base, and then suddenly they're like, we've been watching forever, but we just landed. We've been listening to your internet forever, but we just landed 10 minutes ago. And then we have a final battle where they decide to take the fight back to the civilian population because we want to get there so we can get it back out of the city for some reason, which was fun. I think that's the best way to write a movie, is just like, hey, we're not there. We're not in a place where it's conflict. Let's move to the conflict and then say we have to get back out of it.
Well, the stakes weren't high enough if they took it to the desert.
Yes, I know. That was, but there are so many things. But if you're looking for a movie with plot, just go see, I don't know, that Korean movie that came out last year that won the Oscar. Go see that, but don't see this probably, because you're just gonna get a lot of booms and bangs and a lot of cleavage shots. So there we go. All right, Zion,
what's wrong with that?
Exactly. Yes.
So my synopsis of this is a teen kid meets an autonomous car. The car turns into a robot, meets up with other robots or aliens, as we later find out. He gets captured by a secret agency, and they go back to the city, like you said, to fight there. And instead of having a commercial for toys this time, it's actually a car commercial. So it's appealing to adults this time. So, but they can still make toys off it. I mean,
that's true. I didn't think of the car commercial angle. It was definitely a Chevy car commercial, prominently featured. Yes.
See, if Chevy made tanks, then a lot of kids will want that car.
Yes.
Who doesn't want a tank? I don't care who makes it.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going into Transformers 1987, the flaws and strengths of the movies and the highlights and lowlights.
Okay.
Would you like to start?
I would always like to start, but I would like to open the floor to anybody else. You guys are the...
All right. I guess I'll start here. So 87. So I think one of the strengths of the movie was, I think the fact that it was transforming robots, and that in general is pretty cool. So it's transforming robots that transform into these cars that race around. It's pretty interesting if you're a 7-year-old.
Hey, older than 7. These things, you have to realize how cool Transformers used. Did you have Transformers, Gino?
I had 1 or 2 when I was 7.
Dude, they were the coolest toys, and even still, like the old ones, because they were actually like die-cast metal. They were like durable and really cool. The planes, the ones that were planes were kind of crummy because they had like pieces that came apart. But some of the other ones were like so cool. Like
I remember your dad bringing them to college with him. He'd play with them in the dorm.
Yes.
But I was more of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy era.
Okay, that makes sense. I had Ninja Turtles too, but the Transformers were there were just so many of them too, and so many cool different designs they had.
Remember they were I remember probably the most I had was when they did the McDonald's Transformers and the Happy Meals.
Oh, okay, those were crummy though. Those were like really crappy Transformers. But
yeah,
I had a few. I didn't have many. I knew one guy who was older that had like a box of them, and he came over, and I think he was a babysitter when I was like 8, and then he brought this box over. It was like the best summer ever because I just had like 15 or 20 Transformers to play with for that summer. But anyways, okay.
Where are they now?
No idea. They were all gone. I don't even have one of them.
They're hiding in plain sight. That's what.
Yes.
That's
I do have
what
my
they're
Ninja
doing.
Turtles still though, so that's good.
Yes, he does.
Don't have that.
Okay, so anybody else with highlights, lowlights? What do we think?
I'd say a flaw was that all of the main characters that we died, and we got introduced to a bunch of new characters, which can also be called a strength, I guess, since they can make more money now off of new toys.
Yeah, I did turn.
No.
Xavier, let's put the merchandising aspect on hold for a little bit and just talk about the movie. Did you like any of the new characters?
He
No,
also
not
did
really.
vote for Bernie Sanders too. Just
Yeah, I was gonna say.
he's-
When does your retirement account kick in?
I think honestly, the fact isn't that they killed off most of the main Transformers. They managed to do it within like the first 15 minutes of the movie. Like,
It wasn't a subtle move. No, it wasn't. They did not do it subtly when they killed them off.
it's
I
like
agree.
they literally just killed them one after another. Like,
I think that the strength of the movie was I thought it was visually stunning. I thought the animation was. I'm just kidding. It was awful.
It was just like the TV show. They didn't like Disney. If you watch Disney cartoons on TV, like the TV. Remember the old TV show, like the afternoon Disney things they had. No, like Aladdin or something like that. They had like cartoons like DuckTales or stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And those it was like, but then like if you went to see the movies for Disney, it was like a step up in animation. This was not that. This was exactly the same animation style and quality that they had on the cartoon. It was just.
Was this anime? Was it Japanese? Because at least I felt like that.
Well, I think because this was back. They were still like back then. They were when they started outsourcing to like Korea and Japan. I think for the bulk of the process, which they still do nowadays. They outsource to like Korea and Taiwan and Japan to do the animation, and they send it back. But that was like when they first started that, and that was like that anime style. But of course, everything originated, I think, in Japan too. The toys originated in Japan as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
definitely
an anime style.
It felt like they used a box of crayons to make the
Wow, shots
to make the
fired.
cartoon.
There's like Alan Friedman, whoever does that, is just like.
Yeah. Somebody worked really hard on that, and now I'm just tearing it
Tearing it
apart.
apart.
But
What
you know
what
where
did
they?
you draw?
Yeah. You don't want to know. Where they also lost me was very early on. I think this was in like the first 3 minutes because they went right into a big battle, like within the first 60 seconds of the movie.
Yeah.
And at the very early on in that big battle, Megatron flies in with his troop to like go attack the Autobots, right? And the first thing he does, like big bad Megatron, is he turns into a pistol and then somebody else shoots him. I was like, well, that's kind of weird. That didn't really make sense to me. I will say the strength of this movie, though, is if you like Rocky IV, you're gonna love the soundtrack because Vince DiCola brings it again. Lots of heavy synthesizers, dark, ominous tones when Unicron's just floating around out there, gorging on planets.
It was that was the
and
boys
it had some of the
noticed that.
best. Well, and lyrically, I think some of the most compelling things. I think that there was one when they were on the junkyard planet. I think they repeated the line "Dare to be stupid" in a song over and over and over again, and that's how they all became friends.
Well, you know who that was, though. Do you know who sang that song?
I'm gonna guess Frank Stallone.
No, Weird Al Yankovic. That was a Weird Al Yankovic song, actually.
Really?
Really, yeah.
That makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah. I mean, when you hear it and listen to it again, you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, that's his voice." Yeah, that's. I know the boys heard the first song when they started out. I think when.
The original Transformers theme song.
Oh yeah, yeah. They did the theme song. They had like an '80s band like Black Panther or something record it or whatever, and
Robots
it was like
in disguise.
yeah, and it was just like you heard like. Yeah, the synth, the power chords, and you literally like felt your hair like starting to stick up because of the hairspray that was getting put into it. So,
Oh yeah.
I thought the music was actually. I remember I watched this when it first. I didn't watch it in the theaters because my mother wouldn't let me watch it. We had to rent it before I saw it, but.
Little rough.
Well, no, because she just
Subject
didn't want.
matter,
She
right?
didn't want to go see it at the theater. She's like, "No, I'm not going to watch that in the theater. I'm not going to pay to."
I
go
don't
see
blame
it.
her.
Yeah. But then when I saw it when I was older, I remember hearing the music, like, wow, I don't remember this music being here. And it was like the 90s, I think, when I saw it again. But I think that, it's for what it was in the 80s, there wasn't much going on. That's what that's.
But could they had added like a modicum of substance, just like this much? Like, why is Unicron doing what he's doing? Do we have any idea? Why is the matrix of leadership the one thing that can stop him in the entire universe? Why did Megatron turn to Galvatron, yet everybody knew who Galvatron was second he showed up? I don't understand any of these things.
True. I don't disagree. Also, why when they transform, the sizes just physics don't matter. Like, he's as big as the other Transformer, but then he transforms into something the size of his hand. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, we're going to see in both movies, physics really doesn't matter.
True. Yes.
So,
I think strengths. I'll be honest. I remember when I saw the movie as a kid, a strength I think was I didn't realize as a kid that they were doing it because they wanted to make more Transformers. But when they killed off Optimus Prime in that one when I was a kid, I was like shocked as a 7-year-old. I was like, oh my gosh, they killed Optimus Prime. Because it was like you didn't see that. So I think to me, having that in the very beginning, if it had been if they had more substance through the rest of the movie, that would have been a really bold move, I think. Of course, the reason they did it was not to make a bold move. The reason they did it was because
they wanted to merchandise.
We wanted to get rid of these characters. We're getting rid of Generation 1, getting into Generation 2 or 3. So, yeah.
Well, I just don't like understand why Optimus has to die every damn movie.
True, yeah.
Or get like this close to dying.
Yeah.
Like,
he didn't die. He didn't die in the 07 one, but I think in all the other ones he's died.
Yeah, he dies in all of them. Or comes back as a bad guy or something else happens. And I don't understand the appeal of Optimus Prime. I never liked Optimus Prime.
Well, I was gonna say that probably when we got to the 07 one, but like, what's the big deal with him?
What's the big deal?
He just kind of loses every single battle until the one where he just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But then, like, his background, like, oh, he's just the guy in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like a flaw for the 07 Optimus Prime was that he almost like was trying to die. Like he was like, "No, the only way to save is to sacrifice me. What are you doing? You have to sacrifice me. Sacrifice me. Sacrifice me." Like, do you just
Yeah.
want to be the hero or what?
I think
Yeah,
that's what it
he's
is.
a-
He's got a death wish.
He's
or
a bit of a
something.
diva.
Yes. Maybe he also himself. I don't know.
Oh,
Probably.
another flaw with the 87 one was how Hot Rod became like the
Hot Rodimus Prime.
became like Rodimus Prime or something in the end. I'm like, what?
I also will say the flaw that I had, the thing that really kind of it also takes you out, is the fact that all the new Transformers were these futuristic cars, which don't look like anything. Which is kind of the cool part about the Transformers was they had like one that turned into a Ferrari or a Corvette or a Porsche, and it was like but these were like formless,
Yeah.
futuristic what prototype. What do they call those when they mock those up, Gino, in the car, like whatever it's called.
Drawings.
Yeah, the drawings, whatever. They mock them up.
Hot Wheels.
Yes. So it was that was a flaw for me, just because it's like you don't even know what it's supposed to be.
The other
It's a concept
thing
car.
I didn't
Concept car
understand-
is what you were looking
Concept car, that's right. Yes.
The other thing I didn't understand was the second person after Optimus died.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, there was that one person who looked like exactly like.
Oh
Optimus
yeah,
Prime.
Ultra Magnus.
Ultra
was,
Magnus.
was exactly like him,
Yeah.
except his trailer was like a car loading trailer, basically.
Yeah, and then there was some color difference, but otherwise it was the same colors, same build.
And apparently, you have to be a semi because because Rodimus Prime, when he transformed too, he
was like
became
an
like a
RV.
semi too.
I
Except
thought
he
he
was
was like an RV or something.
yeah.
Right. It doesn't make sense to me. Like,
No,
if
no,
you're going to be the
'cause-
leader of this warring band of robots, and they all turn into like really fast cars or spaceships or helicopters or jets, and then you turn into a tractor trailer. I don't understand how effective you can be at that point.
no, because then
Come
he
on,
can.
Smokey and the Bandit.
We got him. We got him hot on our tail. Come on, let's get him.
Yes,
No, because then they can carry weapons, and that's
I guess.
more money for
Or-
Hasbro.
I'd rather have me a plane. I feel like
Yeah.
planes would dominate or something.
I don't understand. That's another big thing I noticed between both movies is that a lot of the Decepticons, like, they were primarily more air-based, whereas, like, a bunch of the Transformers, like, they were these cars where once they, like, the Decepticons started flying over and attacking them, like, the Transformer were just stuck on the ground, not able to do anything.
But they couldn't they also like fly in the cartoon too? They somehow had the ability to like. They had like when they were robots, they could still like kind of fly and shoot and do things. So
Something like that. I think they just floated whenever they needed to.
yeah, it was just conveniently I can do this now. It's another power that I
Yeah.
have because I'm a robot.
Another thing I didn't
physics don't
understand from
apply.
the 87 movie was how come they had spaceships when they had Decepticons that could turn into spaceships, but the Decepticons that could turn into spaceships still rode a spaceship.
I didn't understand the size thing either. Like when they were getting onto the train that was also a rocket ship or whatever. Like all the Decepticons were able to fit inside of there, but then that Decepticon was the exact same size as the other Decepticons. Like,
It's a Russian nesting doll.
Huh. What I just try to think about what was going on in the writers' room in '87.
I think they put the toys out on the thing and they just said, okay, here's the toys, and they just sat there and like.
I think actually
them
probably what it
together.
was probably the board of directors of Hasbro sitting in a large conference room in their suits, just playing with toys, going, "What if he does this?"
Then
then,
there wasn't
then-
any revision done. It was like,
No,
they just
No,
put
and then-
they put a checklist up of things. That, okay, we need Optimus Prime to die. We need somebody to take it heroically, take his thing. We need them to be in the most dire circumstances and then be out of the
Well-
dire circumstances immediately.
and trust me when I say that we need 2 changes of leadership in the Autobots.
yes.
Yeah, and we need a romantic thing that's gonna kind of be there, but we're not gonna pay that off. We need another kid who's got something with his dad. I don't know. There's a lot of threads. Okay, there was a lot of threads. It was probably just any idea you could throw out. We're like, sure, put it in there.
Is there language allowed on this podcast?
I would say probably not. No, we'll try to keep it.
Because the dad yelled.
He did yell. I was surprised by that. Yes.
I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
What happened to there?
That,
I think the voice actor was just so fed up with being in that part that he just said, "To hell with this."
yes, that was fun. Yes, I didn't remember that part because back then it would have been much more serious to have that in a kids movie, right? Nowadays it's like you could watch.
Well, back then
PG.
it would have been serious to have that in like NCIU.
Yes, but nowadays it's like you could just put that on regular TV and say, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, let's jump in then to 2007. Flaws and strengths. Did we get any? We got a couple strengths, right?
We said the music was a strength.
And again, we're sorry to the writers of this. We understand that you guys do have jobs, and even if you're
No,
retired,
you know what you did. That's all. Nobody's defending that movie.
Okay, so Transformers 2007. Any flaws or strengths or highlights or lowlights?
I think a strength that it's a slight strength. Just comparing it to the '87 movie, when they transformed, it actually seemed like their like general structure and like their mass still somewhat applied. There wasn't such a huge difference. Like they could shrink when they needed to and grow when they needed to. It was just they kept the actual structure of them kind of the same, the actual size of them.
It did look kind of cool. I think the first transformation when Blackout the helicopter changes immediately in that first scene or whatever, that was kind of cool. Except when they changed into robots, it was like you couldn't make out things of them really. Maybe Bumblebee, but some of the other ones you can't really make out what their face or anything else, so you can't really connect them as characters. I feel like it's just like they're a blob of polygons, a blob of graphic, whatever.
One of the things I didn't understand was when they first had the meteor scene, when the robots were getting their forms, how come when they weren't, before they like scanned the car or whatever, they looked the exact same except they didn't have the colors or like the extra shell, I guess. They just looked exactly like the car, and then when they scanned the car, it's like they just added the color and the shell to the robots themselves.
True. Well, I don't know. They got some kind of paint magic.
Yeah.
Use or something.
Or again, two big things. One, I noticed every single of the meteors either landed near a dealership of some sort, or like when they came down from the meteors, they landed near a dealership.
Or
like
a really
one of
nice
them literally
car.
landed like right across the street from a dealership, or they had like a car conveniently placed nearby that would be somewhat useful later. And then
There are
number
cars
two,
everywhere. I'm gonna say that.
But you don't, one of them changed into a Ferrari, right?
No, it was only Chevy, so there was
yeah,
the one changed into
a truck, which was literally they landed
There
near a
was
dealership.
Yeah,
Cadillac.
one turned into a Pontiac Solstice. That didn't really work out well for him.
Well, the shame was like in the cartoon, Jazz was a Porsche. That would have been nice, but they couldn't do that because it was a car commercial essentially.
Yes.
Well,
And Bumblebee
brought-
changed it into the Camaro, right?
Yeah.
Camaro, yeah.
yeah, that was the
cool
launch
scene.
of the new Camaro.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember back then it was.
Although they also did tease Bumblebee's original bug,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they had
I think-
in the
I
car
think,
dealership
yeah.
right next to it was the little bug, and I'm like, is that Bumblebee?
No, because he was the one hitting it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He, I thought it was interesting that this was a kudos to GM. They had the bad guy for Bumblebee be a Ford Mustang when he was a Camaro.
They what? Huh?
So the cop was a Mustang and Bumblebee was a
Oh.
Camaro.
Was it really? I couldn't tell
Yeah.
what the cop car was. I can't tell the difference between some of those cars because
Well, it's okay.
all the modern ones look so similar. I think.
Yeah, it's like
Except for the new Corvettes try to look like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something, which I distaste. But
You don't like that?
I don't like that. It's kind of do your own thing. Don't try and be like a cheap version of that. Come on.
All right. Well, we're not going to turn this into a car podcast,
No.
although we could.
yeah.
That's for Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Okay.
We're talking about
Ooh,
rocket
we got to get
ships.
there. Yeah.
Or another big flaw again. All of the Transformers didn't have any air-based vehicles. Whereas the other Decepticons, they had all this time to find air-based vehicles, so they could literally just rain down from the sky. Like, where was that? But the big thing is, it didn't even matter to the Transformers because they conveniently fought the battle in the city, so then they could just climb up the side of buildings without damaging really much of anything.
Maybe that was their plan all along.
That could be.
So I think that to me, in watching this, it just makes sense why the Autobots are losing the war.
Yes.
They're just not good.
Yeah, they're clumsy. They're
I mean,
morons, kind
like
of.
they're like they've waited all these years to find this magical box again. This magical box, nobody can lose this box concept, whatever. But they've waited years and years, and then they can't sit outside a yard for 5 freaking minutes, like.
That part I really didn't like. Yes, I agree.
Like,
that was one of the big flaws.
Or how the parents are dumb enough not to notice multiple giant robots stomping around in their yard.
I think that would be pretty loud.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw that scene, it took me out of the movie. So I was like, why is he doing this? Why are they not waiting for the 5 minutes?
Michael Bay is a slapstick comic genius, and
Yes.
he had to find some way to get that into the film.
It felt like George Lucas when they had Jar Jar Binks doing stuff. It was just like,
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to step in dog poo and be like, oh, doo-doo or something. Like,
Well, no, they kind of did that. The dog peed
the
on his
dog
foot.
peed. Yes, there was the two peeing scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, if we ever decide to watch the next one has a lot of just even better things.
The next one's a gem.
Yeah.
I think one of the other strengths was, well, kind of strengths, but also a little bit of a flaw was they really captured the transforming scene, but what I didn't understand was if they could transform slowly if they wanted to, but then when they were in battle, they could just like, doop, 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 I'm transformed. But then when they were showing off, they could transform really slowly.
Yeah, when they
I do the same thing. Sometimes I put my underwear on really fast. Sometimes I do it really slowly. It depends on if you're in a rush.
What was today? How did this
same
morning
concept.
go, Gino?
Medium speed.
This morning it was
A good even pace. Still one leg at a time.
I will say one of the things that I will say about Michael Bay and then the direction is I do think the camera work. He can shoot, like, some of his camera stuff that he does, like some of the cinematography and camera work is just like it looks so engaging. And then you realize, like, he'll have this like slow-mo twisting camera thing with like just this lighting coming in, and you're just like, ugh. It's like this beautiful appearance, but then it's like the scene is like of Sam Witwicky drooling or something like that. So why do I need that in slow motion? I don't get it. Like, there's just so much. I think
that I do like some of the action shots, and I think they do a good job of mixing practical effects and CGI. I thought the coolest shot was towards the end when Optimus and Megatron fly through the building, and you're looking at it through all 3 floors. Yeah, and they're taking out the building in slow motion. That was pretty neat.
Although they also collided with most of the main support, and yet it just stayed floating up.
Yeah.
Well, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, that was Xavier said.
That's not the important part.
He said, "How is that building still standing?"
They had already killed enough people in that film. I don't think they could. I think they were going to be over quota before the rating had to jump to R.
Like there were a handful of shots, even like the one in the that's why I think they had the desert scenes was just because they wanted to get because it was just the most high-end car commercial you could have when they're driving through on the hills. It was like, geez, this is just.
You see that in every Chevy commercial.
Yeah.
And then why was Optimus going the wrong way when they met?
He was going towards the where the box was. Remember, because they were going away.
Yeah, but when did they split up? I didn't catch that.
Because when Bumblebee was taken, all of them got taken. So they were going the opposite way, going towards the city. Again, just Bumblebee got taken. The rest of them were together. Yeah. Just Bumblebee. But remember, everybody was following Optimus that one way, and Bumblebee and that caravan of the military people, they passed. They were going towards the city, whereas Optimus was coming away from it.
Either way, that scene also just feels like Optimus is like late to the party, and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
there they are. And then
my brain was checked out by that point. I mean, after the scene with the earthquake and the Autobots like bumbling around and like
Being general
that
fools.
slapstick comedy scene, I'm done. I'm just not gonna think anymore because it doesn't want me to.
it was that point through the Sector 7 piece when they came and got him from the house.
Yeah.
When it's like, oh, you're just going to break every constitutional law and just steal my family
Yes.
because you have an attitude about it.
Yeah.
And then the robots save them, and then they get unsaved, which didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then from that point on till the end, basically, it was just like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Or like Sector 7 has absolutely no radios or anything when it's like this giant military base that's housing these ginormous robots. Like, but you
they had taken out all the communications. So like, even at the Pentagon, they had lost all the communications, the telephone and everything. So they had to find that old-fashioned radio.
But you
That,
think they'd have some
ham
sort of
radio.
radio? Yeah, like you think they have some sort of radio backup though, like.
But still, how do they have in that place with the radio? They have old shotguns, and what else did they have in that? They had a bunch of
flamethrower.
A flamethrower.
They had a
yes.
freaking flamethrower.
Like I've been in government places, and I'm it's Hoover Dam, whatever. But I just don't know if they have that in any basement of just some
Especially
places.
in like a dusty old room.
They needed to give the side characters a chance
And it still
to
worked.
shine.
Yeah, it was in pristine condition, and like the flamethrower, like actually was able to function. Like,
Well, that's because when you store a flamethrower, you want to leave the fuel in there. That's what.
Right.
It's
You
best
want
to
to
do
leave the
that.
pilot. You want to leave the pilot light lit.
Yes, just so in case somebody needs it. Don't worry, it's not a hazard if you do that. Just for future reference, always store your flammable weapons. I'm sure they probably had grenades just laying on the ground and probably some dynamite just sitting around someplace.
I was surprised they didn't find a few claymores sitting around.
Just, hey, what is this? It'd be like Hot Fuzz with the
Oh yeah, the armory they find the
Yeah.
sea mine.
it's deactivated.
Yes. So yeah, I guess that's it for highlights and lowlights, and any other highlights, flaws, strengths that you guys saw.
I don't know why they had to keep Sam and Michaela involved after
it was
the Hoover
kinda
Dam.
dumb.
Like, why would he need to be the one to take the? Why would you take the cube? You have a military outfit there.
Yeah, you
Okay,
have,
we're
like-
gonna give the kid the cube.
Yeah,
Why?
I do agree with that part you said where he's like, "Put it in my chest, Sam," and then he doesn't do it. Like, why? What's the point of this if you're gonna ask him
Well,
to do
that's
it?
the other
and
thing
then-
too. Like, how does he know that it's going to be the same thing if he does it to Megatron? How does he know that that's
Yeah.
not what Megatron wants to do?
Yeah.
It's a very, very bold assumption that he's taking the fate of the world into his hands there, and I don't feel safe.
And why does Megatron just not like flick him off the edge of the building, and just like grab the cube later?
Instead of blasting everything.
Well, that was the other thing too. Why does he like? All right, I'm going to be safe out here on the ledge, hiding behind a statue. He'll never be able to get me here.
Yeah. And I don't understand. They flew in F-22s and Starscream like tore them apart, but then when they had those Apaches flying, like somehow they were Megatron's looking at him like, oh my gosh, those Apaches. It's like I would think the Apaches would be a little more easy to take down for these robots who were just ripping F-22s out of the sky. Considering, I don't know.
They just didn't want it enough.
Yeah, maybe that's because I'm an Air Force guy, and the Apaches aren't really Air Force. That's Army.
or
But I don't
like,
know.
or how?
Oh
like,
yeah, you're biased, huh?
Yeah.
How about the fact that the Decepticons were able to use like holograms to have like actual people driving and stuff,
Oh yeah.
whereas the Transformers weren't able to do that. Like
The Autobots, yeah.
or the Autobots, yeah. Like I don't understand it. Like the Decepticons have like so much more like mysterious power, whereas the Autobots like they can transform and that's about it.
Yeah.
Or like,
the
why
Autobots
didn't so you had the little critter that was on Air Force One
Yeah.
that fixed himself once he got to the cube instantly. Why wouldn't Bumblebee at least fix his voice box when he touches the cube?
Maybe he did. Maybe
Did
that's
he?
how his mysterious voice box.
Yeah,
came
like
out.
Yeah, at the end it was fixed somehow.
Barely.
Yeah.
But that other thing was like limbs regenerated.
Yeah. It You just have
They're
to
just not.
suspend your brain.
They're just not. The Autobots are not opportunistic enough. They had
I
every
also
chance to make that an easy victory.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't do it. They didn't take it.
And how come
Same with the other guys, actually.
when the mother box was like turning all these machines a
box?
lot, or the
cube.
Yeah,
The cube.
you're thinking of
Justice League.
Justice League. Yeah.
I'm getting so
It's a cube.
it's a cube. Like
It's a MacGuffin. That's all
the-
it is.
the-
I do like how every Transformers thing centers around some mystic artifact
That's,
Yes.
that has no known origin or purpose. It's
I
just
don't-
there.
Well, no. Superhero movies in general recently have just been magical cube, magical box, magical artifact. Like Avengers, DC, Transformers. What else is coming next? Like,
true.
can you think of something new, please?
Yeah. It's just
They
easier
all
to do
just
that way, I
need-
think.
They all just need some sort of a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
I also thought it was funny to see because it felt like they spent more time on like Bumblebee making him look good and Ironhide, but then when you saw like Optimus Prime talking, he just looked ugly, and then Megatron
Yeah.
looked ugly.
Yeah, Megatron, I didn't like Megatron's character design just because
And-
I couldn't tell what he was, what he looked like. It was just like a bunch of sharp, jagged things all over. And I could see like dolphin teeth. Like, that was all I really saw.
Yeah.
Even
They,
Optimus Prime, they could have put like his
kinda-
little face mask on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Megatron kind of had mandibles like the Predator, but all over his face.
Yeah, it was.
Or I didn't understand what he turned into either. Like where did he scan that from? Because all the other robots and stuff, they like scan the stuff to turn into it.
No, that's his mysterious power. We never saw any of the Decepticons scan anything. They just
He,
wrote on memory.
But he had crash landed there. Let's talk about that. Back in the day, so that must have been what he last was. So it was just some sort of spaceship. But like, how did he crash land and then instantly freeze? And then how do they get him from the ice with a wooden ship? Well, maybe they didn't do it then. But either way, how do they get him from the ice back in the 30s to the Hoover Dam and keep him frozen?
True.
I don't buy it.
Well, let's just say here, we have to understand this. Science tells us if you crash in the Arctic, you will freeze. That's science. We know that now.
I guess they
because
did it to
science.
Captain. They did it to Captain America too.
Yep, because science. That's all we have to do. They just tell us. Michael Bay's like,
Science.
Science.
Magic.
he's like, it's cold, freeze. I saw snow there. It must work. And it's like,
I was in
Science
Duluth,
magic.
Minnesota once, and I tell you what,
yeah.
if the Arctic's anything like that.
So that's, I think, and I agree. Yeah. How do they move them in the 1930s when they must have had like these old clunky refrigerators, like putting a bunch of ice there or something?
They hadn't even invented the refrigerator at that
That's
point.
true. Yeah. So it would have been. They've just been hoping like don't unfreeze, don't unfreeze. I don't know.
And then I got it. We'll build a dam around him.
And why did they dump them in the
don't-
trench at the end? I don't get that. Like that makes no like. Let's put them someplace where we don't know if they're there or not. We're just gonna say
Yeah.
they're there. Like
You could have found better places, like maybe a volcano, and just
Yes.
melt them down,
or into space or something like.
Yeah.
or keep working on him because they just said the modern age was reverse engineered from him. So you're just
Yeah.
gonna give up all that technology. Like they thought he was dead when they were doing that. Why wouldn't they just continue?
I think Michael Bay just thinks that he also it says something about how he feels about people because he's saying that every advancement was basically like humans didn't do any of it. There was no brain power there. It was all this robot. We just used it because we're idiots as a species or something. We can't do it ourselves. But
Well, I think he had also just watched a documentary on the Laurentian Abyss and said, "Oh, that's really cool. We're gonna use that in a movie."
that was his voice too. I think that's.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's how he talks. Yeah. Hey guys, guess what? Got 2 words for you.
And there, interestingly enough, there's also shots in the movie, like from I think it's The Island, if you remember that movie from like 2005 or something.
With Leo?
I think it had Ewan McGregor in it and Scarlett Johansson.
I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was in the. Oh,
No, not the beach.
with the clones.
Yeah, they had actually scenes in that where it was like they literally just used that scene. I think like the highway driving scene with the explosions. If you watch that, you'll see that same scene. It's just they plugged in robots with CGI. So there's some fun things like that. So
Fair enough.
save
Wait,
some
was
money.
that a Michael Bay movie, The Island?
Uh huh.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So Armageddon and Top Gun and and this.
Top Gun?
Top Gun's Michael Bay, I'm pretty sure. Jerry Bruckheimer and Michael Bay, I believe.
Let's look that one up.
Pretty sure.
Because I'll be surprised.
We're getting a bit off topic here.
All right. And Bad Boys too is Michael Bay. Maybe it's just Jerry Bruckheimer, but I'm pretty sure Michael Bay did Top Gun.
You people
Okay, you're
are
throwing some
so
stuff out there that I'm not. Really.
Bad Boys is Michael Bay. You know how you know? Because what's that scene in Bad Boys? That's the Michael Bay
Top
scene.
Gun Top Gun director Tony Scott.
Ah, never mind. Okay.
Yeah,
Can we-
hold
But
on.
he did
We're
do
gonna
Bad Boys.
also look at Bad Boys.
Because it is him because it's got the scene, the spinny scene. That's the Michael Bay shot that everybody tries to copy, but only he can actually do it really well.
Michael Bay. What spinny scene? Like when they're at the Miami sign or something like that?
Yeah, when they're like, you see like him looking up, and it's like the 360 around them, and they do that. They
Well, they
do
did
that
that in
like
Bad
5 times
Boys
in this
too.
movie.
Yeah, that's true. They did them in Bad Boys 2 as well.
Yeah.
Right when he finds out his sister was kidnapped. But let's not go down another tangent.
Okay, we're gonna move on real quick.
There can be only one.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
To the death, I accept.
Here, we had chosen before just the characters that we thought should be in there via a random assignment. So,
Oh, great.
I don't know if I can do this. Let's see if I can just do this here. We'll do a quick share with Gino. Can you see the screen,
Can you
Gino?
share the screen?
I am sharing the screen. yeah.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Wow, look at this.
So if we look at it here, so what we set up here was just like based on who selected what. The top 2 selections, the top 2 actually, interestingly enough, Optimus Prime 2007 and Ironhide. Ironhide was the high pick here. He was a surprise. He was like the Phoenix Suns this year. And then
He was cool, yeah.
our 3 seed was Megatron 2007. Our 4 seed was Bumblebee, followed by Blackout at number 5. Number 6 was Galvatron. Number 7 was Grimlock, and number 8 was Blur. So this is the competition.
I liked Blur. Blur was awesome.
So we'll start out here with Optimus Prime 07 versus Blur. Who is going to win in this battle? It will be a surprise.
Is Blur the one that talked at 1,000 miles an
The
hour?
one who was the Micro
Yeah.
Machines guy, yes.
Yeah.
I think Blur. Just because of the fact that Optimus Prime in the 07 movie could do basically absolutely nothing. He, I think destroyed one Decepticon, and then that was about it.
True, yeah.
Well, that depends if we're talking about authority, because Optimus Prime also has the authority over all the Transformers, I thought. So really, he could just be like, "Stop! Don't fight. Thank you."
Do you think he's really going to... Are you going to fight? Is that the way you fight?
I mean, he could.
Fight or don't fight, thank you.
Yeah.
And plus,
Like you're in a
Blur-
boxing match and say, hold on, I'm the boss. Don't fight me. I think that's what Floyd Mayweather does sometimes when he's fighting like real reality stars.
Yeah. I think that I'm going to have to go with Optimus because Blur was too much of a crackhead for me to enjoy.
I mean, realistically, I think that Blur would probably win, just because he's fast.
And he's awesome.
Now, don't be biased.
And he's
Well,
awesome.
this is a vote for who you like, Xavier. It's an inherently biased activity.
Yes.
Well, I think we have to look at the facts, though. I do agree Blur is fast, but he didn't demonstrate the one scene that he was doing. He was just kind of shooting at that one scene. He was shooting at a bunch of Decepticons from different positions and then just gabbing. Otherwise, actually, the talking thing they did was just like fast talking, but he kept repeating the same words again and again. So it wasn't even the fast talking was like kind of like an illusion in terms of fast talking. I think Optimus Prime did suck in that movie. He did not do much, but he did kill the one guy with his
when they were roller skate fighting.
when they were
Yes.
rollerblading, and it was roller derby.
Yeah.
When they had the roller derby match, he did win with the sword that he pulled out of nowhere, which always amazed me that he had this magic sword.
But he never used it again.
Yeah,
But he did use it-
It's surprising me that they haven't found any upgrades for technology. They're still using swords and guns.
Yeah,
Well, that sword, it had a heated edge, so it would melt
something.
people, I think.
But he didn't use it against Megatron, did he?
Nope, he used
No,
his pistol.
he didn't strategize well for that fight.
No,
He
said,
did
"Don't
not
need to
train
a
well.
building," Yeah.
Yeah.
I will have to go with. I just don't see. I feel like Blur runs around and Optimus Prime takes his sword and just chops his head off. I don't know. I feel like that happens.
Oh wait, is this a who would win in a fight?
I guess,
Yes.
yeah. Or who's better? I guess I don't know. We didn't really.
I thought it was like who would you rather have like in the movie? Like
Oh, who would I
who's
rather
the-
have in the
who's
movie?
your, who's your more favorite character out of the two?
Yeah,
Then Optimus Prime.
I liked Blur when I was younger, but when I watch it now, he's really annoying.
I like Optimus Prime, really. I mean,
And I don't like Optimus Prime, but
I really don't like. I extremely dislike Optimus Prime.
okay.
He just looks cool. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I'll go with Optimus Prime though.
You guys are so annoying.
Well then, moving on.
Okay, so Optimus Prime wins out. Okay, Ironhide versus Grimlock. That 2
Grimlock.
versus 7.
Ironhide.
God, it's a matchup of the big dumb idiots.
Yes, agreed.
Grimlock.
Matchup of the
Ironhide.
mechanical meatheads.
Tell us why, Xavier. Why Grimlock?
'Cause he's funny. He sounds childish.
He's a meathead.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're both
I,
meatheads.
I
He
say-
sounds like a pet almost. Like, tell Grimlock story.
Okay, I say Ironhide because I really hate Grimlock because he constantly referred to himself in third person, which just was so annoying.
Me Grimlock. Me smart.
Yeah, he was like referring to himself in like first and third person in the same sentence.
True.
And I really hated that like he didn't really follow orders or anything, and he was just kind of like really big and bumbling. Whereas like Ironhide could like actually follow orders, and he actually did something semi-valuable.
What do you mean? Grimlock did something semi-valuable.
Like he was, and Ironhide has big guns.
And he's big.
I just feel like Grimlock is if Rob Gronkowski was a Transformer, he would get Grimlock.
That could be true, I think. I will say Ironhide did have like that. He did have that one scene, which was like another cool action scene where he's doing that spinny thing, firing his RPGs or whatever they are, where he's flipping sideways somehow and like firing off the guns.
He was floating over the hot lady.
Yeah, that's right. Which actually, just real quick, we forgot to mention what's her name again? She was super
Megan
famous. right?
Fox?
Megan Fox. I remember being much more attractive when I watched it the first time years ago, but now it's because of all the stuff in the interim that's happened with her. I'm like, but
Yeah. She was certainly hotter in number 2.
was she?
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
I don't.
And then she referred to Michael Bay as a Nazi and lost all of her movie
Oh, and
opportunities.
yes, and then they got a new girl who was like faceless, kind of, and we don't remember.
Didn't know who the hell she was.
But I actually like Grimlock, and when he transformed, he looked cool. I think he was kind of like that Snake Eyes look or something. And he did also take over a whole planet and basically became the king of the planet just by being.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand Ironhide's motivation for why he was so upset with the humans when he just landed there and he's like, "Let me kill them, please. Let me torture them." Like, why are you? What is wrong with you? You guys are the good guys.
Well, I just think that they're both starved for attention.
Yeah.
I just think that they act out in a way that really does make you think that, like, God, you're just doing this because you want people to pay attention to you. Like when Ironhide's like, I just wanted to show him my cannon. It's like, no one cares. All right. Are you that much of a
And let's
just
recall
clamoring for people's attention?
only one of them got peed on. So
Okay. But,
Well, you don't know. That little red guy was peeing down Grimlock's back the entire time. They just didn't show it.
Actually, that's another thing that upset me with Optimus Prime in the 07 movie was the fact that he absolutely refused to have any casualties whatsoever previously, but then he took the battle to a city, and then they like killed bunches on like just tons and tons of humans
no.
within that battle.
No, we don't know
Crashing
that.
through cars.
Yes,
We don't know
crushing
that.
cars, flying through buildings, but he refuses to knock out some agents that are literally taking your comrade away. Like,
No, we don't know that people died, though. It could be 0 casualties. All the buildings that they crashed, so it could be empty. It could be a Saturday, so nobody's working.
That's true. It was midday when buildings usually don't have people in them because,
That town also looked very fake and abandoned for the most part.
Yes.
It just had that feel about it. Even though there were people there, it also was like, is this place, are there people here? Like he runs into a gigantic abandoned structure.
Yeah.
Like, where was that?
And they built up like a church or something for. I don't
But
know.
I'd want to believe that some people died. I mean, it's
You'd
unfortunate.
want to believe
But like, I mean, when you fly through a building like that and you take out 3-4 floors, and you're a gigantic metal robot, there's going to be casualties.
I see.
With bombs going off everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
even Sam. I'm surprised he didn't die in that fall with Optimus. I know he was holding on to it.
oh my
but it's
god.
like, you're not going to survive in a metal casket falling from
That's
a
true.
building. I'm sorry.
When I saw that too, I was like,
Physics-
he's dead. His bone,
Okay.
every bone is broken.
Yeah.
Physics in this just didn't matter, especially as long as you were like touching the Autobot, you're fine.
True.
You'll survive absolutely anything. That's how life works, people.
No,
Okay.
here we can do the Sam experiment. Put a bag of bone, put together some bones in a bag, drop it. If it doesn't break, then we know that science is right, and that if you're falling, you won't get hurt.
And I mean, that wasn't a small building by any means. That was like, what, a 10, 12-story building, too.
No, but Optimus Prime was monkey jumping.
Terminal velocity is not a thing in this realm. So Ironhide Grimlock, what do we have, Zion? You said
Ironhide.
Xavier,
Grimlock.
Gino.
I hated Grimlock so much that I have, and I didn't like Ironhide either. But this is all why is every vote a lesser of two evils?
I think that's these two movies. It's a lesser of two.
Yes.
That's a good point. Okay, Ironhide.
I really like Grimlock.
Uh-oh.
I got to be honest.
So we got a tie? We can't have a tie.
We can't have a tie. I guess I'll push Ironhide through then. I do like Grimlock. He's my favorite. I thought he'd be the upset. So we have favorites winning right now. The next one, Megatron versus Galvatron. Anybody?
Oh.
Ugh.
The debate about who's uglier. Kind of.
I have to
whose
say
design is uglier?
Galvatron. Galvatron, he just looks smoother. It doesn't look like he's ugly as much. I mean,
But he looks less threatening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. He looks like.
Yeah.
but you can understand that he's still Megatron, kind of.
I think they wanted Prince to play him. To be honest.
Megatron.
I think
looks
Prince
like,
had that same hat.
Megatron, the 07 Megatron looks like that dude from Justice League. Who's the bad guy?
Steppenwolf?
Yeah, he
does.
looks like
Yeah.
Steppenwolf.
He looks like the Steppenwolf from the Zack Snyder version, just
Yeah.
a bunch more spikes. Although
but-
he doesn't really have that goat look.
I gotta say Megatron from 07 just because Galvatron, that color scheme just does not work.
Why not?
I really
You're biased
hate it.
against purple.
No, I like purple. It's just the orange and the purple that doesn't work for me. Like, it just
Orange and purple.
clashes so
Have you
hard.
seen Green Goblin?
Xavier's getting hot on this one.
Yeah, Xavier's getting a little on the defensive here.
We
We got a
found-
color battle.
Okay,
ensuing.
but
Purple and orange is my thing.
Right? It's his weapon.
But-
It can be orange.
when it's sitting on your arm the entire time, it looks ugly.
Well, I think they thought of a color wheel. Isn't like orange and it's supposed to make it like jump out when you put orange and purple together or something like that?
Orange and purple, Halloween colors.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, especially
Maybe.
like the shade of purple as well. It's not like a dark,
just like
bright
spikes.
purple.
It's a
You
light
just like
purple.
spikes.
It's like a light blue purple.
You're biased
Okay.
because you like spiky people.
I like number 3 Megatron or 07 Megatron.
Uh-huh.
So I just think he's hilarious. Because
Yeah.
everything that he does wrong, he instantly blames somebody else. It's like he falls, he fails to do one thing or another. It's like, damn it, Starscream, you idiot!
Yeah.
That's so true.
Oh, that was normal from the cartoon back in the day. It was always against Starscream, but yeah, they didn't show any motivation for that. Also, who played? And do you know who played Megatron?
Which one?
Megatron from 07. And Galvatron, actually. Interesting voice work here. Anybody know?
Oh, Galvatron was the Citizen Kane guy.
No, that was Orson Welles. Was
Orson
Unicron.
Welles. Unicron?
Yeah, I remember there were some.
Megatron. I'll give you a hint.
Judd Nelson wasn't Judd Nelson in the '87? Isn't
Judd
that
Nelson.
who it is?
Judd Nelson
Yeah.
was Rodimus Prime. Yeah, Hot Rod. He was the guy from Breakfast Club or whatever. Megatron. Give you a hint. Matrix. If you that helps out.
Oh, wait, was
Not
it?
Morpheus.
No, not more.
Not Lawrence Fishburne.
No, that'd been cool.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was
Matrix.
Yes, Hugo Weaving.
Who was that?
That is Agent Smith.
Oh, no kidding.
Which you can't really tell his voice. I think Lawrence Fishburne would have been pretty excellent to have him as the voice. That would have been
Who's
awesome.
that again?
Agent Smith is the guy who's hunting Neo in the
We
Matrix.
need to watch Matrix
Oh.
again.
And Galvatron was voiced by Leonard Nimoy,
Don't know who he is either.
That I did remember, yeah.
is Spock from the original Star Trek series. But I think Megatron here, just because that one scene where he snaps Jazz in half, which was like I don't understand how they win when
are
you can just
biased
grab
against
somebody
me.
and rip somebody in half.
Yeah. Oh, I love how
But
Optimus
but here's another question. How come when Jazz got ripped in half, he died, but Bumblebee essentially got ripped in half and he was cool?
It's different.
I love
Same
how
with the
I love how
same with
Optimus
the
in the
little
end.
Decepticon minion.
Yeah,
True.
I love how Optimus in the end is like holding the two halves of Jazz's body and his arms like one in each arm. Like, could
No,
you imagine doing
He's
something
holding
like that to a
he's, like,
human
tucked
in
one under
real
his arm,
life? Like,
and then he's like just holding one by the head.
That would be cool, yeah. If you were in the middle, not cool, but that would be an interesting concept. You're in the middle of war and your buddy gets blown up, and you're like holding both sides of his body as you're like talking after the victory. Like, yeah, we lost some guys. It's okay. Here's my buddy. Yeah, that would not be.
Couldn't save Jeff here.
Sorry, Jeff. But everybody else, and he was like totally chill about it too at the end. So that was like poor Jazz, man. But I think that was maybe I don't know, because that was I don't think that character flies today. I don't think. I think that there's probably some backlash towards the Jazz character. There was back then, I think, some backlash towards the Jazz character, and I think it would happen.
I think they had more backlash with the twins in number 2.
And number 2 was really bad, yeah, because those.
So who won here?
What was our votes here? What do we have?
I said Megatron.
I didn't hear Gino's. Did we hear Gino's? You
I
number
said
3.
Megatron.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I said
Cece's funny.
Galvatron.
So you say Galvatron.
Megatron.
I say Megatron too. So Megatron
See,
moves on.
people are biased against me.
So in the next round, we will have Megatron and Prime going at it. Let's see. For the next one, Bumblebee and Blackout.
Bumblebee and Blackout.
Bumblebee.
Blackout.
Who was Blackout?
Blackout's the helicopter.
Blackout was just so cool because of the transformation. That was like
I like Bumblebee.
very, very cool.
I like Blackout because he doesn't talk.
True. Although the thing I didn't like about Blackout was you couldn't really see much of him.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Bumblebee didn't really talk either.
Yeah, he used the radio and he tried to be clever.
Yeah, which I didn't get that part either. How do you find like just? If I turn on the radio, it's like Justin Bieber every single time. Like something about
No, we
peaches.
get
Well,
some Louis Capaldi.
that's just your stations that you listen to. It's
we
Justin
get Louis
Bieber and Selena
Capaldi,
Gomez is playing
We
on
get Louis
repeat.
Capaldi. We get
All right, let's
Dua
not
Lipa.
we'll not get into the pop music of 2021.
Wait, was that actual like real people
Those are real people.
that he was
yes.
just mentioning?
Yes.
Yeah, yikes.
He's an expert on these things. apparently.
Yes.
Are we gonna do Zion's top 4 or Xavier's top 40?
I'd say Bumblebee.
I say Blackout.
I think Blackout also had Scorponok on him too. He fired off, so he could always do that, and he didn't get killed at the end, did he?
No,
No,
he
he
didn't.
didn't.
He
The other
escaped.
guy got the tank got blown up, but I don't remember Blackout getting
Devastator?
killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say. Sorry to do it to Bumblebee, but
See, people are biased against me. It's official.
no more bias against Bumblebee. Blackout will say.
Yeah.
And
I
Galvatron.
gotta say,
And
In
Grimlock.
in other movies, I would pick Bumblebee because I thought he was better in the other movies. This one is just like, eh.
I think he was better in the Bumblebee movie.
yeah.
As the
Bumblebee was good. I liked Bumblebee.
but I mean, he's actually the only robot character that you get to know a little bit. Otherwise, they're all kind of just. And Optimus Prime just talks too much. He's way too like, just way too kind of like blah 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 blah. Here, profound things I'm saying. Humans help them. We should. Blah blah blah.
Or
Yeah, he's real high and mighty for somebody that lost his entire planet. In all his tribes.
All right, so we can kill off Blur. He's dead. Galvatron is dead. So now we have. Ooh, look at this. Round 2.
Ooh.
We have Prime versus Megatron in the battle to the death.
No, I thought we were doing favorites.
Or whatever it is. However you want to judge it. Doesn't really matter.
I like Megatron in this one, I gotta say.
Okay.
yeah, I gotta say Megatron.
I would rather, here's the way I think about it. Would you rather see, you know how they did the Bumblebee movie that only had Bumblebee in it, basically?
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Would you
what
rather
do
see a movie just about Megatron or just about Prime?
I think Prime was just very like high and mighty, and like
I'd rather see a movie about Prime personally.
I mean, if we're watching
Really?
if we're watching a Prime movie, I still think you can turn it into Smokey and the Bandit, and drive down to some
10-4, good buddy.
Well, I
some
mean,
country
this,
griddle
this,
and get some
the
biscuits
movie-
and gravy or
the
something. I
movie
don't know.
concept would be good for other characters that are just like not alike, but for these two, they're like mortal enemies. So I think if you saw a movie just about Megatron, Prime would kind of be in it still. Because
I think the difference between Prime and Megatron is Megatron was like, you could actually tell he was kind of like this villainous type of guy, like just what he looked like, sort of like his voice and stuff, like everything about him was just like sort of oozed evil, whereas Prime, he didn't feel like a hero.
he can't. Yeah.
He just didn't.
He felt like a jerk sometimes.
Yeah.
And he was, like
I
Gino
think-
said, he was high and mighty a bit.
Oh, yeah. I think with Megatron, you could turn it into, like, if you had the time and you had the movie to do it, you could turn him into, like, a Thanos character. Because there's
Yeah.
something there. There's something that's driving him to do what he did. Because they said at the beginning, Megatron betrayed us. Okay, why? Maybe he had a good reason. Maybe you don't agree with it. But I think you could build a better film around Megatron than you could around Optimus, who just, like, oh,
That's true.
evil sucks.
and he also, think about the beginning. They said he like destroyed the whole planet himself. Basically, he like. So that's interesting too. The fact that this guy must have some power, but then he's taken down by Shia LaBeouf at the end. But still,
Yeah.
in the beginning they did say he was responsible for destroying the whole planet by himself. So that says something about him. I'd rather see his movie. Prime just
People
I
are
never liked
biased
Prime.
against me.
We are. We
Actually,
did decide this beforehand.
Yes.
See that's 4 in a row.
I
That's
think
not luck. I'm picking the
think-
right answers, and you guys are biased against me.
There's no right answer.
I think a big thing I just realized is the fact that there are so many Decepticons in the '07 movie, and like half of them escaped, and and Optimus just didn't care. He was sitting there holding Jazz's body in his hands, just being like, "Hey, what's up? We killed some Decepticons."
Yeah, the Decepticons got a lot more. Like they were throughout the whole movie, they were sprinkled
Yeah.
throughout it. But the Autobots like showed up like halfway through after Bumblebee. So
I think that was another big flaw with the movie is that they introduced some heroes too late. Like everybody but Bumblebee was they were in there just like 3/4 way into the movie, like,
Yeah.
and they just dropped him in. They're like, "What's up? We're gonna fight some bad guys."
Okay, so now we have Ironhide versus Blackout.
Ooh.
You know what I didn't realize for a long time is how small Ironhide was. He's a tiny guy.
Is he that? It was hard to tell because it was hard to tell any size.
In like the final scene when Optimus has Jazz in his hands and everything, Ironhide's just as big as all the other ones. Or just as small, I should say.
So he's like Gimli or something. He's like a dwarf.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
kinda.
yeah, I realized that.
And
Like,
my
why are like the leaders of both sides just bigger than the rest of them?
Maybe that's why.
Size matters. Diana.
That's
Maybe
interestingly,
that's why
Michael
they're
Bay
the
might not be the
leaders.
biggest guy. We don't know.
I think he is actually a tiny guy. Let's see.
Let's check
How
and see.
tall is Michael Bay? Keep going.
I think for me, I just got to go Blackout here, just because I think we said he's the one who's been the least worst of two evils here.
Yeah, I think Blackout too.
Okay,
And-
now I
and-
can't lose. I'm going Blackout.
And Ironhide couldn't. Ironhide needed the little soldiers to help him
Yeah.
beat anybody. And although
I'm biased against
Although
Ironhide.
when Blackout took out the whole base, that was cool. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Ironhide, or not Ironhide, but Blackout. I think, the fact that he was like a single matte color, and and his transformation was awesome.
yeah.
I didn't understand how he, crossed the ocean in the matter of hours to fight with other Decepticons, but whatever. But there was just other cool stuff involved, and just the fact that he was a helicopter and not like something like a jet, I think it helped. It helped slow down the movie a little bit.
I like the sound design for him too. When the helicopter
Yeah.
comes in, they got that kind of bassy sound. Like you get that, like just a weight to him, I guess. But
I will say, I don't think we mentioned this in the strengths and weaknesses, but the sound effects in the new one, or the
Yeah.
07 one, were really, I thought really cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
they did a lot.
Challenging noises to make.
Well, I think back then this was a movie that kind of first like piloted a lot of those sounds, that because you hear movies now and they all use the same like those really like synthy kind of like that
Yeah.
for like big explosions and stuff. Like when you see movies now, like all the big explosions like kind of have that sound to them. But I feel like back then this was the first movie that had that kind of 3D Dolby kind of sound almost, where
It's like reminds me
explosions
of
resonate
those,
a certain way.
it reminds me of Attack of the Clones when Boba Fett's or Jango Fett's launching those mines in the asteroid field, like the sonic ones.
Yeah, it has like that echo and that reverb
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, and yeah, it was kind of like but it's a comfortable sound for your ears. It's not like shattering your ears. It's more like something that when you hear, it's like, oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also let's remember that Ironhide, when Blackout showed up, all the soldiers were kind of like needing a change of their pants. You're like, oh my gosh, he's back again. We're in
Yeah.
deep trouble. So that says something, I think. So what's our vote here?
Blackbird.
Blackout.
Blackout, Blackbird, same difference. He should be called
Blackout
Blackbird.
Bird.
So it's
Oh yeah, so Blackout wins, and then we go to our final, which we don't have it on here, but we have. I'll stop the share for now. We have Blackout versus Megatron.
yeah.
The final battle.
This is actually kind of tough. They're both Decepticons, I just realized.
I think it's still Blackout.
I think
Yeah,
Blackout
I think
wins.
Blackout.
I do Blackout.
Blackout was probably the highlight.
Megatron had easy matchups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how he got through so far.
I would have liked to have seen Starscream, to be honest, because I like the
Yeah.
F-22 still. I think that would have been cooler if they had more of him.
Starscream was awesome.
Yeah.
Except I didn't understand the part where he just tore apart other F-22s just like that. But
That would. I don't know.
But he didn't do it to all of them. He just said, I'm going to kill a couple of these guys.
But yeah, I think that was. I think Blackout. That's easy.
Blackout.
unanimous vote here.
Did you say Blackout, Xavier?
Yes.
Yep. People are still biased against me, but whatever.
You say Megatron?
No, I want to win. I want to feel good about myself.
Blackout.
Okay.
I'm not going to stand up for what I believe in. I'm going to just go.
Okay. Actually, we don't even need to do that. I just like seeing Gino do that.
Yeah, no. It's just there was a fly here.
So next part we have up is the
Quiz.
quiz. And the quiz is going to be Zion and Xavier against Gino.
Oh.
Oh.
So this will be fun. We'll see how this goes.
Normally it's Xavier and I
We have some
against
quiz
each other.
questions here. So let's start out with the quiz questions. First question to Zion and Xavier. What is the famous Transformers tagline that Sam says in the movie?
When you think back, how many years was it? When you think back in the future, aren't you going to want to say you had the guts to get
No,
in the car?
no, not that one. More than meets the eye, dude.
What? I don't understand the question.
Okay, hold on. So the question is, what is the famous Transformers tagline that Sam says in the movie? What is your
What's a
answer?
tagline?
You have to tell me your
What's a
final answer.
tagline?
It's like, it's
Like a
lot-
saying.
Like
yeah.
Nike says, just do it. You know,
Oh,
a slogan.
so motto,
kind of.
basically.
Kind of,
Kind
yeah.
Okay.
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
No, he doesn't say the Transformers
Yeah,
part.
But he says-
that's what the tagline
Okay,
is.
you got it right. It is more than meets the eye. Yes. So, Geno's. I think. Let's see how Geno's goes. What famous toy company designed the Transformers, and what other famous equine toys did they also produce?
What? This
Equine.
is easy.
I get a two-parter.
Yeah.
It's Hasbro,
Okay.
and what is it? My Little Pony.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. Look at that. Wow.
You only know that because you play.
That's
with
another.
them.
That's another toy that your dad brought to college.
Okay.
He was combing the hair and everything.
Hey, you played with those too. Let's remember. We exchanged some. You had your strawberry shortcake, so. And we all had our
there you
chemistry.
go.
Okay. According to the 2000 Zion and Xavier, according to the 2007 movie. Now, don't just shout out the answer, please. Confer and then say your final answer, or else we're just going to take your first one. According to the 2007 movie, where did Transformers learn English?
From the internet.
The World Wide Web.
What's your final answer?
World Wide Web.
Why do you get to pick?
Is that your final answer? Yes or no? You guys, I said confer. Don't just say what you think is the answer. Confer with each other.
Does it have to be the exact
Yeah.
designs?
It's the World Wide Web.
Okay, the World Wide Web. Okay. Gino, warning, Gino, these get a little hotter. What was the universal greeting that Cup taught Hot
this is
Rod in the
impossible.
Transformers the animated movie?
Oh, I know this. That's
Wait, what?
What was the universal greeting that Cup taught Hot Rod in the Transformers animated movie?
Oh Jesus!
He's just gonna, he can just search it up.
Oh, no searching. Yeah.
No searching. No searching. Handshake? I don't know.
Oh,
It was some random gobbledygook.
no, it was Baweep Grana Weep Ninny Bomb.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Did he say that in
man.
college too?
I thought you
Oh,
remember.
yeah.
You're the quote guy, so now you will remember.
Yeah, for movies that I pay attention to.
For movies that I only dislike. Okay. Zion and Xavier, finish this quote. Megatron says, humans don't deserve to live. Remember, confer before you answer and choose who's going to answer. Humans don't deserve to live. Optimus says, they deserve to...
Choose.
Cheers.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It's incomplete.
It's incomplete.
Oh, choose for themselves.
You only have.
Oh!
No, wait, no. You only have
Okay.
one space for the
That's
You
fine.
only have one space.
That's a
for the
long
word.
space, though.
No, you only
No,
have
you
one
have to
space.
have. You have to have like this, like this. It has
That's
two
because this is two
spaces.
sentences. Okay.
No, one is for one word.
All right. Gino,
Ah,
finish the
we
quote.
better get that one.
That's not the full quote, though, Xavier.
Yeah, but he only had one space.
Finish the quote.
One space can mean many things.
This has two spaces, Gino, just so you know.
Okay, two
Finish the
spaces.
quote. This is from the animated movie. You who are without mercy, blank, and then another sentence.
Ha.
I'm sorry, what?
You who are without mercy. This is Optimus Prime saying to Megatron at the beginning. You who are without mercy.
Good luck.
Suck.
You who are without mercy. Now beg for it. I thought you were made of sterner stuff.
I did. When he said that did stand out to me. It's like, oh.
Okay,
But
here we go.
Then it's not. Then it didn't stick.
Okay, here we go. This is for Zion and Xavier. Who's the planet-sized Transformer in the animated movie?
Unicron.
Oh God, give him a harder one, why don't you?
Okay. For Gino, this is from the animated movie. Who is the green helicopter Autobot that goes with Ultra Magnus?
Oh, good luck.
Why you keep asking me ones from the damn cartoon? The green helicopter that goes with Ultra Magnus.
Yeah.
He also
green-
kind of looks like a green.
I couldn't keep
Megatron.
up with how many different characters were in that whole show.
Just quit.
Is that your final answer?
No. It was Kermit.
Close. You were close. Your name was Springer. Springer was there.
That's it.
I had to look that up. All right. Zion and Xavier, what did Bumblebee use for voice in Transformers 2007?
A radio.
Oh my God, all the easy ones.
No. This
A radio. That's our final answer.
Okay, radio is correct. All right. Okay, Gino, this one I have a hint for you. What famous host voiced Ultra Magnus in Transformers? Hint. It's no mystery that Ultra Magnus was in jeopardy.
Alex Trebek.
Oh, no. Jeopardy wasn't the hint. The hint was mystery was the hint because it was Robert Stack, the host of Unsolved Mysteries.
Well, okay, A, I don't know who that is, and B, why would you give a hint about a show and include 2 shows in the hint? What the hell kind of a hint is that? I got a hint for you. Who's wearing a red shirt and it is a
Genius.
Well, there goes our made for kids.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
You gotta put Quack in there, okay?
I'll put Quack in there. Yeah.
Yeah, who's
Quack,
a quack? Jack Quack.
All right, so
I've got a
you
hint
didn't
for
like
you.
that hint. I thought it was a good hint.
The robots will be in jeopardy when Oprah comes to town with her Family Guy. What's the show?
I just wanted to see if you go for the Jeopardy hint, so that's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I did.
But you don't know Robert Stack from Unsolved Mysteries. Okay.
No.
Okay. Zion and Xavier, who is the leader of the Autobots?
Which movie?
And when? Which movie and when?
The 07.
question. Which movie?
Tell me any of the leader of the Autobots.
Okay, there's 3. The first is Optimus Prime, Ultra Magnus, and Rodimus Prime.
Okay, and how about in the 2007 movie?
Optimus Prime.
Oh wow, you guys are good at this game.
Yeah, Gino.
Okay, Gino.
Very well.
I feel like they're on Celebrity Jeopardy. You know what? Just name a color. Any color. All right, Gino. How tall in decimeters was Optimus Prime before he got cut in half?
This one's an easy one, Gino. Who was the leader
What's
of
Optimus
the soldiers that were
Prime's,
attacking
what's
Qatar?
Optimus Prime's favorite flavor of pie?
No, this one's easy. Who was the leader of the soldiers that were attacked in Qatar?
Josh Duhamel.
Okay, we'll accept Josh Duhamel. Yes, I don't even remember his name to be honest. That's how.
No, it was what was his name? It was
I have no idea. Did they have names? There was
No,
like,
he did. It was like
There was
Tyrese, and then
There was
yeah,
Epps.
no, Apps was Tyrese. I thought this guy was like Carter or something.
Yeah, it was
the
something.
leader was white. Everybody else was black, pretty much. I'm sorry. I'm just pointing out a fact.
I think that Tyrese was the only black guy, and then the Mexican guy who they kept yelling at for speaking Spanish.
Yes. Yes, that was. There was definitely some issues with because I felt like there was a lot of issues with representation.
And then they had the white nerd guy who's an exact replica of the same guy in Predator with the glasses.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, no answer.
Okay, that's good answer. Josh Duhamel will accept because I don't remember the guy's name because they were all forgettable. They were just like guy with baby and wife,
Yeah.
guy with family
Yeah.
back home, Tyrese running around to say things a certain way. All right, Zion
Their
and
favorite
Xavier.
words were "Bring the rain."
What song did Bumblebee play when Michaela was leaving?
Baby, come back.
Final answer?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why
Let's
I
hear
didn't
it.
try with this.
Let's hear it. Baby,
Let's
come
hear it.
back. Da-da. I don't even know the words. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Any kind of fool could see.
Ooh, wow. You just hit like 3 keys on that one.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to go in A and F sharp, and I'm going to find the
That's like
less
this,
used
That's
key.
like the celebrity. That's like the celebrity. Let it be.
That's the celebrity letter, yes. With no,
You mean imagine?
yesterday, imagine.
Or imagine, yeah.
All right, Gino. I think this is the last one, or maybe 2 more. What future Transformers star sang the song "You Got the Touch" from Transformers the animated movie in another movie?
I don't think we've got a single question that isn't the animated movie.
I'm waiting for you to ask me the Mark Wahlberg question, which I know you've been waiting for.
Okay.
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
That's Mark Wahlberg. Yes, he sang.
Is it? No shit.
He
I mean, no kidding.
no quack.
No quack.
So Mark Wahlberg, yes, he sang "You Got the Touch" in Boogie Nights. Actually,
Come on, really?
no, seriously, yeah. I remember the first time I saw Boogie Nights, and I was like, "That's the Transformers song. Why is this in here?" But it is. And he does. It's so great because he's like hitting he just did speaking of different keys. He hits a couple different ones there.
It's a talent not many people
That's
have.
good. You got the Mark Wahlberg one. I'm
Yeah,
happy.
let's move on so we can win.
We got our 6 copies of
all
Mark
right.
Wahlberg. What did Michaela use to help Bumblebee at the end of Transformers?
Oh, I know. She used a tow truck that she stole.
She got him a green card.
He's an alien, I guess.
Ah.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yeah, sure.
It was a tow truck. Yes, I agree. Gino, how did Sam say he would help his father?
Ooh, I know
Oh,
this.
I know this.
How he would help his father?
Yes.
I
This
know
is
this.
Taking out the
purposely-
trash? What are you talking about? When he's like during the garden scene?
Yes.
I've got a very non-specific question for you that has apparently a specific answer.
Okay, I'll answer for you.
All right, well, let him
Oh,
answer.
please do.
Okay, I'll answer for him. He said he would
He
get...
said like 900 things. I'm gonna sweep the floor. I'm gonna take out the garbage. I'm gonna I don't know.
No,
Whatever else.
When he was trying to get the car, he said, I'll get 3 A's and what, $20,000?
2000.
$2,000?
But how is that helping his dad?
I was thinking when the Autobots were outside and he's trying to keep his dad inside. I forget what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can't ask me if you forgot.
Okay, I think it's obvious who won and who lost.
Is it obvious? I think this game was rigged.
Hold on. Can we check out that Jeopardy question again?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a hint.
It did talk about mysteries in there, I think. Because he
It's
was
no
in
mystery
Jeopardy. He did almost
If he
get
was in
killed.
Jeopardy,
Because Jeopardy has more than just it's not just the game, Gino. Just so you know. It's not-
I'm aware that it's a word. I get that. So is mystery.
Okay, so now we're reaching the end of this. This is
Very long episode.
that's okay. We did two
This will
movies.
be like a 3-parter.
All right, so I don't remember where we're at now.
Great host we have here. He doesn't...
Okay. We're reaching the end. We all got a minute left. We're going to do a little snake oil. I want you to sell me something about the movies. Just sell me on anything, one of the movies. Make me want to see it or not want to see it. Either way. Who wants to start out first and sell me?
Zon, you're starting.
Oh, okay. 07 movie. You can literally go to a dealership in the movie theater. Like...
Are you sold?
Are you saying that does my car shopping for me?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, I don't want to see that movie. I like to go shopping.
Okay, so he sold us a... okay.
That wasn't very good. I really
Okay, let's hear yours then.
I'm not going yet. I still have to think.
You're supposed to
Okay.
think of yes or whatever.
I'll go. All right.
Okay.
So, in the world of film, what makes a truly great movie? And I have an actual hint for you. It's 2 words. I need an answer. You're taking up my minute.
Okay. One more time. That was like an Optimus Prime profound speech right there. One more time.
Yeah, this is a profound statement.
Okay. Go ahead. One more time.
In the world of film, what truly makes a great movie? When you think of Academy Award quality caliber film, what 2 words come to mind?
What 2 words come to mind when I think of Academy Award films?
Because both these films have this in spades.
What do they have in spades in either of these movies? Good stories, I guess. Good.
Bad
stories.
plots.
Bad plots? No, the words we're looking for is product placement. When you think great film, you think product placement. And I have to say that these 2 films do it very well. It's a bit tricky. I think the overall tone of the 07 film is buy a GM car, buy some Mountain Dew, get an Xbox, buy a Nokia phone. And I loved it. I thought that was great. It worked well. It worked seamlessly. However, I'd have to give the edge to the 87 cartoon because the entire movie was just
About toys.
here are every toy that you could buy.
Okay.
So
It was like walking
You
through
want-
a toy store.
if you want to see a movie that really does a great homage to product placement, which we know is the most important aspect of any film, watch that 87 movie.
Well, we know the purpose of the original cartoon, right? The original cartoon was literally just a 30-minute commercial. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Like that's fun.
And it's brilliant.
Yeah, and it
I
sold
think
a
they
lot
won
of kids.
I
Yeah.
think they won like 9 Peabody Awards.
Yes. And maybe a Pulitzer, a Nobel. I think they were
Mm-hmm.
up for it at least because it was just so.
Okay, I have mine, I think.
Okay, go ahead. You sell us on something.
If you like Star Wars: The Last Jedi, like a movie with no plot, story, useless characters, then you can watch Transformers.
Which one?
All of them.
That's pretty much true.
Okay.
I mean, that was basically The Last Jedi too. That was basically product placement. Like,
Yeah, they couldn't have product placement in The Last Jedi though. But that's for a whole other 5-hour podcast because that's
yes.
Well, it's my fault for conflating product placement and merchandising, but I still.
it was very
My point
prominent.
holds.
The product placement was very prominent in that. It was yes.
And I have a second on that. Either go watch the movie or I'm gonna shoot you.
What?
I don't think that's how it works.
Did you say chew? What was
Shoot, I think he thinks this is like this is not communist Russia here. We don't do things like that. Okay, for me, I would say let's say here. So
I'm not gonna watch the movie.
here's the thing. We know that people are nostalgic. They're nostalgic for toys they played with. They're nostalgic for characters they saw. But more than anything, people are nostalgic for the beauty of the mullet and all the music that goes along with it. So if you want to enjoy that again, if you really want Steve Perry and you want Weird Al, then you need to run out right now and rent. Can you rent anymore? Stream, whatever you do, Transformers the animated movie. This movie has everything. It's inspiring in the way that it hits you with those 80s ballads. I felt like I was watching one of those infomercials called Doing the 80s from TV. It was amazing.
I think
It
you're over
moved
your
me in different
minute.
ways, so
Yeah, can you
Transformers the
stop?
animated movie.
Can you stop?
Who hired
Run out and
you
get
as a
yourself- Run out
salesman?
and get yourself some leg warmers and a Flock of Seagulls CD.
yes. And some pink spandex, something to go with it because it's truly amazing.
Yes,
Are you-
such,
are
it was
you
such
done?
an amazing movie.
Are you done?
Are you done?
Yeah.
I think I sold everybody. I think people are gonna they're gonna see a spike here after this post. They're gonna be like, "Wow,
That-
what's
that
going on
was
with
the-
Transformers the movie?"
That
Yeah, the
was
spike was
worst.
I watched it.
I watched it on YouTube actually.
We've got one.
Okay, so that was our Transformers the movie and Transformers the animated movie special. Our podcast on these for Movie Masterminds. I guess if you guys have anything, what's our usual stuff? You guys, what's our usual things we have to go through?
If you have any, like,
If you have any movies you want us to watch and review, comment them down below.
We're looking for that spike of one person too. So
Yeah, please.
otherwise,
Like,
and
subscribe.
comment.
You brought me on, so I don't know what you were thinking.
Yeah, that.
Yes. If you guys want Gino back, let us know in the comments. Because
Oh, that
I'm
you
sure he'd
probably
be
will.
willing to.
Yeah.
You sounded so excited, Zion. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys want.
If you want to
my
see him
guys.
lose again,
Yes,
comment.
Oh.
if you want us to see any more crappy movies, again, let us know in the comments. We'll do this again sometime. If you guys liked this 2-movie thing, us comparing 2 similar movies,
Again, comment.
yeah, comment, let us know.
Push all the good buttons and none of the bad buttons.
Yes, please don't give us any thumbs down. I'd be very sad.
Okay.
And I might go full Megatron on you.
Xavier's very evil today.
Okay. Well, that's all we have for Movie Masterminds. We still don't have a tagline or anything for this.
Yeah, Gino, you should give us a tagline.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no.
Come on, give us some.
Movie Masterminds. We've got the best clues for you. Movie Masterminds. Don't expect much. Movie Masterminds. Everyone's biased against Xavier. Yeah, Xavier. Movie Masterminds. I can't get the two of you straight in my mind.
All right. And with that, we're signing off, apparently.
So
Bye.
I'm gonna use that as the bumper for all the rest of these. It's gonna be like the MGM Lion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that as the